stealth checks are a huge part of almost every single D&D game. Whether you're delving into a dungeon and trying not to get noticed by the monsters inside of it, or trying to break into a house to steal someone's, jewelry. Those are all any manner of going places people don't want you to be. That's kind of what D&D is about. And
Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Pass Without Trace.
Uh,
You're ruining it.
I think of Kronk from Emperor's New Groove doing his sneaking out with Kuzco scene, and he's singing his own theme song, and he stops him to the wall and is like, yeah! That's what
All
this
right.
is to me.
Well, here's something I haven't seen that you have.
Oh, that hurts.
Sorry.
No, I understand why you feel bad for me whenever I say I haven't seen Three Amigos.
And you still
That's
haven't.
Emperor's New Groove is one of the greats, and Pass Without Trace directly relates to it, so you should watch it. For the sake of this video, if anything else. Anyway,
Well, we're too late for that.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
This is a second level spell. Cast time of an action, range itself. It requires verbal somatic. Opponent is ashes from a burned leaf of mistletoe and a sprig of spruce. Concentration, 1 hour duration. A veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
That's such a big radius. I mean, if you have like 100 people that you need to cast this on, it's doable.
It is. The more people that are in it, the more likely natural ones and low numbers start to occur, and things can start detecting. For the record, like, you don't necessarily want to bring 100 peasants with you, but you could if they're small enough.
Yeah, no, they don't even have to stick around. I mean, you can cast this, and people leave the 30-foot radius that still goes with them, right?
No.
No?
A veil of shadow and silence radiates from you. For the duration, each
Oh.
creature you choose in 30 feet of you has a bonus to the start check. So it checks. Each creature you choose that is within the 30 feet of you gets the bonus. If they leave the area, they do not get the bonus. I believe. I will double check, but I'm confident that's how it works.
Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you gets +10 to dexterity. Can't be tracked. I don't see anything that says they can't leave.
So apparently, hold on. It says it benefits only those who stay within 30 feet of the caster. According to Jeremy Crawford on Twitter, Pass Without Trace is meant to benefit you only while you're within the spell's radius.
Okay.
That is the designer coming in on Twitter to say that, I love that this game's rules are so clear that we have to ask to Twitter to figure out how this shit works.
That changes it significantly for me. I mean, it's still really, really good, but I was thinking, all right, I'm gonna cast this on the whole party, and we got our telepathic bond going on. We're gonna, hit this castle from 8 different points silently.
Instead, it's more like the rogue goes in one way and the rest of the party gets the ranger's escort over somewhere else, right? And the 30-foot radius does really help in that the ranger can be 30 feet ahead and the rest of the group can like hug in and just stay in the Pass Without Trace while there's someone else is scouting around. 30-foot radius is a decent space on like specifically battle mats and whatnot. You'll often find that it isn't that challenging to like track where the ranger is and keep up with them as they're leading with a Pass Without Trace while still being able to like be in a variety of different positions. It's just not like a great tool for everyone's going their own direction into this palace, which, let's be honest, that's not what happens a lot of the time in D&D anyway, because no one wants to hassle split the party 6 different ways.
But it would be really cool if that was an option.
It would be. I still think this thing is really excellent. Plus, the thing we have kind of like buried the lead on, +10 is just too big. It's huge. That is so many. There's like 3 mechanics in this game that add non-modifiers, like non-ability score modifiers to checks. This is one of them, and it's a friggin' 10. So in a system that's got like, oh, add a +1 to this, advantage on that, a D4 on this. This is just the largest bonus you can get to a stealth check. And that's meaningful. Just like that raw +10 in a system that's sort of design premise was, what if we shrank all the numbers from 3rd edition? I mean, giant number is useful, and it makes DC 30 and 40 checks very passable for upper tier groups, especially.
But like you said in the beginning, the more people you have with this, the more natural one potential there is. And if your goal in using this is to sneak a big group of people past the guards without anybody getting seen, that's a factor.
So, I mean, like, a lot of times what you do then, right, is you take precautions. So either the paladin isn't wearing their armor, or someone gives them advantage so it mitigates their disadvantage. And a lot of the times, like, I believe rules is written, natural ones on ability checks don't constitute automatic failures. And sometimes if you got, like, a +1 dex, a base 11 or 12 is going to be good enough to pass a lot of dumb creatures, or moderate creatures even, pass the perception checks. Like, an average guard might be trained in perception, but an average townsfolk isn't. So this should work as a blanket decent catch-all, even in very low outlier situations, for sneaking around and not being noticed when attempting to via stealth checks. Now, notably, this doesn't make you invisible. This will never do things that invisibility can do. You still have to use things like cover. You still have to use your environment. This just makes you seem quieter, and it makes it so you're not leaving tracks around. You're just very hard to notice. It's almost like there's like a like if you zone out for a second and you get the fuzziness on the sides of you, you're just in that fuzziness to other people's perspective, is what I kind of read the +10 stealth to do here. That's sort of the silence and shadows that radiate around you. I guess I'll let them.
So what are you using this for?
Stealth checks are a huge part of almost every single D&D game. Whether you're delving into a dungeon and trying not to get noticed by the monsters inside of it, or trying to break into a house to steal someone's, jewelry. Those are all any manner of going places people don't want you to be. That's kind of what D&D is about. In a system that, is designed to have monsters that you kill, getting the drop on monsters is useful. So this is a really easy thing. You just go, okay, we're going into a dangerous environment, drop past that trace, everyone gets the buffs. You will make stealth checks for that hour. It will occur. This is a pretty safe bet as a ranger to just slap on your team if you want something to do with your concentration before a dungeon, right? Before a mission, before you can do the spy break into the gala and steal someone's, very expensive ring or whatever. You could also just do we're going into a crypt. I don't really want you to get seen by the shadows, so we're going to pass that trace, everybody. And everyone moves nice and slowly. You all make really high stealth checks, and you can pretty safely get into positions where you'll notice creatures before they are likely to notice you.
Yes.
That's what I use it for, at least.
Yeah. I mean, anything you'd need for a stealth check. For it's great for a party like where the rogue is the stealthy guy and he's sneaking it, but then he's out there alone. What about the rest of the party? It's but on the other hand, that makes the the rogue special thing not so special anymore.
So I will say we're like invisibility sort of. I feel that way about invisibility, right? I feel that way about like the rogue special thing is being sneaky and getting in places they, no one else really can by using stealth. I think past that trace, by making it a team effort, it does, I think, more of the job of helping keep your paladin and heavy armored characters caught up. So as opposed to like sort of stepping on toes, because you're still in a group, because you still have to abide by stealth rules and stuff like that, it's a lot harder to like sneak into a tiny little passage with 5 people, even with pass without trace, versus a single rogue doing it, right? There's still going to be moments where just quantity of creatures is the issue there, and you'll still see moments where, oh yeah, I, as the rogue, I don't need this bonus. I'm getting a +12 to this anyway. I'm going to go the other way, scout that out. You all take the main road and go stealthily and quietly as well. And you can rely on your own skill and not needing to be with the group to get a new tangible advantage, right? The rogue still gets to shine there because they have the flexibility of being able to flip from the group. And I like that. I like that there's that dichotomy.
Does this help at all with the, I forget how the assassin's features work.
So assassin just needs to go first in combat.
Right.
If you go first in combat, you crit.
Okay, well.
That's how assassinate works. You can't be surprised. Other things like that, but it ideally, like, so this does set up people like Gloomstalker. This does set up people like the people that want early initiatives get the drop on people. Stealth is how you get the drop on groups, and this gives the whole party the very easy way of getting that surprise round. Getting other creatures to have the surprise condition in the first round,
right,
for clarity.
Yes. All in all, I think that's well worth a second level spell slot.
Oh, 100%. This thing is very affordable. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5. It's not changing the game on any fundamental axis, but it is a genuine boon to any party that can get access to it. I'm even happy casting it like at 5th level with Ranger. I'm very happy casting it at 3rd level with Druid. Trigger Domain Clerics will cast this a lot because they love working with the medium and heavy armored characters. Like, this all around as a spell you'll be very comfortable using all throughout the game.
Yeah, well, that's another reason I feel like this deserves a 5. This or I mean, it's not Wish, but it's cheap. It's super effective, and it's something like you just said you will use throughout the game. Yeah.
I think that where something like Find Familiar and Invisibility fundamentally changed some elements of how I can approach problems. I don't feel exactly the same way with Pass Without Trace. It just feels like people are going to be able to do stealth missions, but they still have to abide by the rules of the stealth missions, right? You still have to abide by finding cover. You have to abide by the using foliage and fog and heavy obscurity and that stuff to move around. Like, this isn't a catch-all, I can go wherever I want kind of solution. That's why I don't think it's like overtly the most powerful thing ever. But plus 10 is genuinely great to very mundane scenarios, right? This is something that you stick on your martial character, you stick on your rogues, you stick on your wizards, your paladins, whatever, and this will help them get through the mundanity of it in a very efficient way.
Yeah, if like you can cast this on the whole party, and do some stuff that requires some a degree of stealth, or have the rogue do something that would be nearly impossible for anyone else. And
as long as you stay within 30 feet of them. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That's why you just got to get this as a rogue by doing a 3-level dip and trickery domain. Easy peasy.
Sure.
Then you say, screw my team. I'm going to have a plus 25 to stealth because I said so.
All right, that's another fun build idea. Okay. All right, well, that was Pass Without Trace. Great spell. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Other than that, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.